How's it going, everybody? Listen, I know you see the title, and I don't really do market watches too much. I'm mainly about deck building and a lot of off-meta stuff at that, but I just wanted to make this video specifically for like any new players, maybe just getting into the hobby, right? Looking to buy some cards. Of course, full disclosure, I do have a TCG player affiliate link, it's in the description. If you buy anything off TCG player, I get kickback support from that, right? But just a thing I'm noticing in the market and why the title is don't buy cards right now. Specifically, there's one archetype, color, I should say, of cards not to buy: yellow. It is getting a little crazy with the buyouts right now. Prices are going crazy, and it's all because of one card here. This Enel card that's going to be released in EBO2. That is releasing in the middle of set 10 over in the East. So we're talking about something like 5-6 months down the line for us. And we're already having prices being affected by just how impactful this card is for Enel. I'll read off the card description for you right now. This is Enel. He's a 10 cost 11k power character, Sky Island. If your leader has the Sky Island type, this character gains Rush. So he is a 10 cost 11k power Rush. And then when attacking, you may trash one card from your hand. If your life is at 1 or less, place the top card from your deck to the top of your life. Then give this character plus 1000 power for this turn. So he becomes a 12k Rush. This card was specifically made for the Blackbeard matchup. Blackbeard, obviously turning off leader abilities, is a bit of a problem for Enel because you can no longer heal with his leader ability, right? This card not only helps with that matchup because he becomes a 12k power Rush, so he can swing over or like at the 12k stat line for the Blackbeard blocker, right? But it's a when attacking heal. So even if you don't have on plays, this still heals you. And also, it's not once per turn or like on the turn that this was played, right? It's once per, like, because it's when attacking. But it's not just on the turn that this was played. So you can continuously heal with this, and it's a 10 cost 11k power. It's going to be a little bit hard for people to remove this unless they're playing black and have some good removal, Ice Ages, etc., etc. This is like a continuous heal card boss monster for now. It's kind of crazy. But because of this support alone and some of the other support that's being revealed in EBO2, a lot of buyouts are happening. So I just wanted to give that context to people that might have, a job, might not be so in depth with the One Piece card market and why things are going crazy. Maybe you play a little casually and you're looking at alt prices and wondering why some of this stuff is going astronomically through the roof. Firstly, taking a look at just some of the top prices for stuff in set 9. Obviously, we knew that set 9 was going to be a big set, a lot of great hits. Prices are going down for a lot of them, stabilizing not so much. Look at the leader cards, they're all around like $50, $70 for Shanks. He's probably one of the better out of this. Blackbeard 2, he had a lot of popularity. I don't think he has as much of a win percentage right now. I think he gets more support in set 10. But still, even the SPs, there are a good amount over 100, right? Nami, though. Why is Nami over double? Yes, she's a very popular character. Obviously, every Nami SP has been very pricey. But 240, she was like 150, 170 a few days ago. And even that was rising a little gradually. But because of the Enel support release, I've seen a lot of yellow cards being just bought out, jumping in price, 20, 30, even $50, depending. Just a huge increase just off speculation on how good Enel is going to be once these cards come out. And again, this is like 5-6 months down the line for us, It's kind of crazy to speculate that far. I think these prices will probably go down a bit in between now and then. Especially if we get any more reprints for any of the sets from these cards, especially set 9, the latest set, right? There'll still probably be a lot more to come. But just as a bit of context for like why things are going how they are. For example, the Enel leader. This was like 40, 50 bucks, I think, a few days ago. I mean, you can see the graph, right? Yeah. Just December 18th, 44. Right now he's up 72. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Like a $30 jump. Almost double the price just because of that one card. It is a really good card. It is really good. Really good. But that much of an increase is a little crazy. And again, I always say this, but you don't need alts to play, right? You don't need alternate arts to play the game. But it's just like a crazy bit of an example of how things happen with new card releases, how that affects markets, how it affects card prices, all that stuff. It's just a little interesting to look at, right? And who knows how much it's going to maintain. I think some of these cards might maintain a little bit, right, of the price, especially stuff like the premium booster cards. All of these have been going crazy. This card, this Beige, was $13 before. I was looking at this card. I like the art. Premium booster. It's an alt art, right? Not just the full art. Now it's at 34. There's not a lot left because there was a buyout and, you know, they're posting not a lot of stock to keep the price up. Kind of insane. And even though they're being posted this and, you know, how many have been sold, right? Like not a ton. 3 average daily sold. That was probably a lot from the buyouts too. Who knows? But yeah, like see it like 12, 13 bucks. And then it's going to, I don't even know if it's going to sell at these prices, right? But even if it like levels out, say at like 19, 20, some of these start getting sold at that. That's still like 5, 6, 7 bucks more than they were just a couple of days ago before that Enel support was released. And this is also a thing of, you know, premium booster is a little bit harder to get now. It's always going to be a little bit pricier because people want the God pack, obviously. And I mean, I love a lot of the art, but it's just the fact that, you know, that God pack exists in it. It's always going to be like sealed product is always going to be a bit pricier. So the alts, a lot of them have been going back up, especially the Dawn cards. A lot of the gold Dawn have been rising back up in price. A lot of them have hit over 80, 90 or 100 bucks. But we see this alt is just one of the ones that was bought out. Again, who knows if it's going to sell at this inflated price. But like I said, even if it drops down a little bit into the 20s and sells there, that's still like $10 more than it was, which is kind of crazy. And then, yep, the big ticket, the Nami. I mean, we're even seeing sales. High sale price, $2.99. Average daily sold 1, so not a lot. These are not moving, but that's an expensive card, right? The more expensive a card is, the less likely it is to have more average daily sales, of course. Lowest sale price, $1.29. That was, you know, a little bit after the set was released. This kind of was down there, you know. So if you were able to get that card at that price, if you were buying these as singles, you know, I mean, if you're buying SPs as singles, you know, good for you. But 240 is the lowest. Again, not a ton of stock because of like these buyouts, right? So if we see more of these get put onto the market, yeah, the price might dip back down a little bit, but it still might level out higher than it initially started. Speaking of another premium booster, again, these are all alts that are either in Enel decks or might be in Enel decks. I think the more popular card is in Enel, the higher price it is likely to be. I think some Katakuri might be still running it, but this price has been totally crazy. 53 bucks for a secret alt art, right, in premium booster. It does have, you know, a few more listings. I don't think this one is going crazy, right? It's not going super crazy. Even the other Nami alt art, not the SP, the one from 08, I think this was around like 30 bucks. right? 32 bucks. Now it's spiked up to 50, 55. Crazy. And this is more average sales, seven daily sales. Again, it's kind of crazy. Pretty much anything that could be in an Enel deck is going up in price. Like I said, these will probably drop. I don't think they'll maintain this inflated value, but it's the idea that if they do drop and still are higher than their initial prices, like that 32 bucks, like say this settles around 40, that's still an increase, right? 8-10 bucks. Ace, I don't know how much, if this 10 drop is going to get replaced by the Enel, right? But this is currently a staple. You can see it's climbing a lot. You know, it's always a bit expensive. It was a pretty good C rare. It was run in Enel. Enel wasn't crazy in the meta right now, but still on the rise, on the rise. And then we got the alt art for it, 52 bucks. Again, going up. I want to say Enel had a pretty good matchup into Blue Doflamingo, which Blue Doflamingo being like most popular best deck in format. Obviously that was going to push some of these cards up too for people that like playing Enel. So they have a good matchup if they run into those Blue Dofi players. This Yamato card though, this is like the prime example of something. Like look at the graph. It's kind of insane. A week ago, like before this support the Enel card came out, like this was around, I think 70 bucks, you know, like 79 December 13th, 79 the 10th to 12th, right? And now it's $110 because there was a buyout. Three listings. Obviously, premium booster isn't getting opened as much, so there's not as much to be put onto the market, you know. Even at $80, this was a lot for a card, you know. Great artwork, a staple in a lot of yellow decks, so of course it's going to be pretty pricey, pretty valuable. But going from like 70 to 80 bucks to 110, that's a big increase. You know, it's a $30 increase. All because one card was revealed, and just goes to show again how much some new support can leverage the market, right? Just speculation on what deck will be best deck in format. Like people want to get ahead of it, right? Shirahoshi. This especially being EVO 1, harder to get. This SR just by itself, yeah, it's used in Enel. $25. Look at the graph just going straight up. Crazy the percent increase. Crazy how it was. And this is one that's getting sold. You know, obviously there was probably a lot of the buyouts that factor into the average daily sold, right? But looking at the 10th to the 12th, a couple of weeks ago, 15 bucks. So about $10 increase just for the regular art. The SR, I mean the alt art, still crazy. Not as crazy, you know, it dipped down a bit. 31 bucks. A little bit more showing there. But just to compare that, right? This is all speculation, and that's kind of what like the market is, you know. It's not like cards are not an investment. You never know what's going to get banned or come in and out of flavor or be good. You know, this might the Enel card is good, right? But like maybe it's not best deck in format in 6 months when EBO 2 comes out. Who knows, right? But as an example of a current new released leader that Shanks isn't best deck in format, in my opinion, but he's a pretty good deck and is very popular. A lot of people are playing him, and he's pretty decent. His SP, $83. It's not spiking. It's going down, leveling out, you know. The alt art, 29 bucks. Like this is going down, right? Even Jimbei, like this is going up a little bit for the regular art of this SR. This is a 4 of in Blue Dofi and a lot of blue decks, honestly. And the alt art is $21 and it's pretty evened out. Who knows? With Nats coming up, the championships, right? We're probably going to see a lot of Blue Dofi. That's like the first big thing, a set 9, right? like Nat, it's a big event. So if Blue Delphi shows out, which I think it will, who knows if this will spike, but like just a showing of how a market can be. This is something we've known for a while, that Blue Delphi was going to be popular, going to be really good. This art isn't going crazy, right? It's not fluctuating a lot. You know, it's stabilizing. There's a lot on the market, even though it's a 4 of in like the best deck. But something new comes out, like this card, and people speculate and talk about how good it's going to be down the line. So people want to get in now before it is popular, and stuff might be more expensive. But these types of buyouts happening are making it expensive, right? So it's just a matter of speculation, right? Teach, another very good leader, popular. Looking at the prices of his cards, the same with Shanks, about the price, like 28, 82, 83 on the SP, right? It's all about speculation and wanting to get ahead of things before they spike. So many people see this as an opportunity. They're going to be buying these cards. They're going to be trying to make money off of the hype now for people that might want to play the best deck and have it blinged out, you know? So maybe they see Enel down the line and like, oh, I want to get my cards now, so that these people buying out the cards try to take advantage of those people, you know, that want to get this stuff now with these buyouts, right? Like I said, they'll probably go down, maybe level out a bit higher than they were, but still, do with your money what you want to do. I'm just saying it's a little crazy, the price increase for some of the cards, but it makes sense in a way that, you know, premium booster stuff is going to be more expensive because it's the sealed product is more expensive. I think boxes are still like $170, right? So it's a little bit harder to open some of the stuff. And of course, the stuff that's going to be possibly used in this very hyped deck is going to be more expensive too. But I'm just trying to give you context if you are newer or maybe don't follow releases as closely. You know, there's a lot of people that just play in the current moment, play in the current set, don't really think about stuff down the line. But if you're looking to buy stuff, right, maybe you're going to play Robin, you know? I run Veggie in some of my Robin lists, you know, Nami too. And maybe you're looking to get some alt arts for yourself and you're like, why is this so expensive? Why did it double in price? A lot of times it's these new card releases that kind of shape some of the prices now, even though we won't be getting it for months. Speaking of that though, a reason though, like some of these leaders are pretty cheap, even though, like I said, Shanks might not be best deck in format, but he is pretty good. He's very popular and pretty fun. A lot of these leaders, the 4 emperors in this set, are getting a special release set of different alternate art cards for their leaders and their 10 drops respectively. In something coming out in a few months. You know, it was on like Premium Bandai's site to pre-order, right? So that's why we can see, even if these leaders do pretty well, they might not spike up too much for their leader cards because that set is coming out and people know of it, right? People knowing of the new stuff coming out is kind of what shapes a lot of the prices now, even if it's going to take months to get there, right? But speaking of another kind of different thing, like meta leader, Purple Luffy. He's doing pretty good in the meta. We look at some of his alt arts, right? Sanji is a big one, a good 2K counter. This is going up, as we can see, because it's not really a reprint in the future for this card. There's a couple of different versions, but this is probably going to be like the easiest one to pull because it's just from a set. Or the Zoro, right? Like, this is how you would expect cards to behave in the market, right? This Zoro is from the current set that's being opened a ton. because it's the newest set and there's a lot of product available at the current moment. So the price is going down. Whereas Sanji from OP07, his price is going up. Even though OP07, I've still seen it a lot in the wild, right? At card shops, but it's an older set. People aren't opening it as much, and this card is used in a new pretty meta deck. Purple Luffy. Not new, but in current set 9, a lot of people are running it. Whereas Zoro, he is a new card. So since there's so much of it being opened, it's going down. Like, that's kind of what you would expect for cards, right? But like, we see stuff like this with the sudden buyouts and everything. That's because of like the speculation on this new stuff that's coming months down the line, and why I personally would wait to buy any of these cards. If you were thinking about buying any of these alt arts, right? It's a little bit crazy right now. I mean, like, again, look at the Yamato. Perfect example. Only 3 right now. If more of them are opened up, if we ever get like reprint of Premium Booster, this price will go down. I know at Nats, they do sell like sealed boxes, right, at MSRP, right? So a lot of people are probably going to be going there buying EBO 1. I don't know if they sell Premium Booster there, but if they do, a lot of people opening that, so maybe we'll see some more stock coming into the market, right? But again, look at EBO 1 SRs, just like continuously going crazy. So the fact that EBO 2, people seen what it was like for EBO 1. A lot of the SRs just going crazy. So seeing this card in EBO 2, a fantastic SR, it obviously created a lot of hype. So that's just what I want to say about the market right now. It's a little bit crazy for specific cards. Again, a lot of yellow cards because of that Enel support that got dropped. Will it go down? Maybe. Again, it still might level out a bit higher than it was. But that's just what's kind of happening. Again, I would kind of wait. Even if you are a diehard Enel fan and you want to deck out your deck for this new support coming out, it might go down a bit, especially after a buyout, right? Because people not involved in that are going to just be posting their cards for sale normally, as they do. And as more stock hits the market, it'll help lower prices, right? Again, this isn't financial advice. I don't really do these types of videos to begin with, but this is not advice on where to spend your money or what to do or anything to invest, because again, it's not really an investment for these to buy cards, in my opinion. Just to give you a bit of clarity, again, if you're not following stuff so closely, if you're not following new card releases, stuff coming down the line, because again, these are things coming out months from now. So if you're just worried about playing the game in set 9, it's not a bad time. I mean, look at everything besides the Nami. Things are going down. Things are stabilizing. A lot of the SPs even. I love all the wanted posters. They're fantastic. But because all of these 10 drops in the wanted posters are also coming out in that new premium collection for the leaders, right? They have a new art for those. It's helping the prices not go crazy for them, right? Let's look at some of the other alts. A lot of them have been pretty stable. I mean, Ben Beckman even 22 bucks. Who knows? Again, with Nats coming up, whatever shows out particularly well there might also impact prices for stuff. If Purple Luffy does amazing, maybe this law goes even crazier. That's actually kind of crazy. I didn't realize the law was that expensive. 30 bucks. That's kind of wild. But who knows? If Shanks does even better, maybe the Ben Beckman rises. Maybe somebody does crazy with Buggy and this 10 drop goes up. Who knows, right? It's all speculation at the end of the day because it's a card game and who knows what will happen. The meta right now isn't so set in stone, and all of these prices going crazy are from something I've said so many times, but something that's going to be coming out in like 5-6 months for us here in the West. So just take that in mind with whatever you're going to be buying, if you're going to be buying anything. And when you are going to be buying stuff, there is context that goes around all of these prices. So it's stuff to keep in mind. That's the main goal and point that I wanted to get across. This is not like so much of a market watch or even a warning not to buy, but just food for thought. Something to think about if you are going to be buying these cards, right? Obviously, don't buy anything you can't afford and spend your money wisely. If you saw that there was a bunch of buyouts recently, maybe wait. If you see that there's something coming down the line that you want to play, maybe stock up when you can find the good deals, right? It's common sense for a lot of stuff. But either way, that's it. Just want to give y'all some food for thought, my thoughts on these buyouts. It's kind of crazy, kind of wild how some stuff has just spiked so much. I'll be waiting to buy some stuff, but either way, let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you going to be picking up any of these cards from set 9, or are you going to be picking up anything for Enel? Are you excited about that? I might make a video diving into EBO2 cards when they are all fully revealed, but some of these SRs are kind of crazy, like that Enel 10 drop. Absolutely wild, you know. But either way, let me know what you think down in the comments. Leave a like in the video, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.